I was able to grow my YouTube channel to 10,000 subscribers. I hit 10,000 about 2 weeks ago on February 15th, and I honestly never expected that to happen. I'm playing the long game with YouTube, and I was mentally prepared for any length of time to get any traction. If you guys don't know me, my name is Adriana, and I run a handmade jewelry business called Matera Made. I work full-time, and then I run my jewelry business on the weekends and after work. And my YouTube channel is primarily showing how I make my jewelry. I do teach, I have some educational videos, and I do studio vlogs showing like a typical day as a part-time jeweler or a self-taught jeweler. So my channel it's not a YouTube growth tips channel, but I also like to talk about business, and a part of my business is YouTube. And so therefore I am sometimes going to talk about YouTube because I love to share and I love to teach. I am not a gatekeeper. And so when I find something that works for me or that I'm excited about, I want to talk about it. And so YouTube is one of those things. I started my YouTube channel in May of 2023. I was posting about 1 video a week. I did have a few months where I didn't post at all because we were moving from England to the States again. So I did skip a few months, but ever since probably August, I've been regularly posting once a week about my jewelry and business and all those things. I've managed to grow pretty quickly. I've read that only 6 to 8% of YouTube channels ever get monetized, and I was able to be monetized back in November. And I can't say thank you enough. I honestly thought that I was so niched down that it would take me a good while to grow, but I think it's what helped me grow. So pretty much in this video, I want to talk about the things that I think helped me grow, niching down, and my opinions on that, editing, the quality of your videos, finding inspiration, some tools that I use that I think could be helpful. And then we're gonna talk about YouTube Shorts. I really wanted to make this video because if you guys are like me, and I know that you are because there's so much stuff about this already on the internet, about YouTube being saturated and if it's too late. I had all of those same questions when I started. I was worried that it was too saturated, that I didn't have a big enough of a target audience to grow on YouTube. I'm here to tell you that it is not too late and you can grow. I also know that although 10,000 subscribers is a lot, my mind is blown. It's not the biggest audience that exists, right? One of the whole points of my YouTube channel is to share my experience as I'm growing. I'm a self-taught jeweler, so I teach others through my mistakes and through just general knowledge, things that I feel confident in. But I never want to talk about YouTube whenever I've reached the peak of my growth, or when I'm years and years in. I want to share as I'm learning and as I'm growing. So who knows, maybe this advice will change in the future, but this is just my opinion right now. So let's get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is how important it is to know what your YouTube channel is going to be about. I never told anyone before, but years ago I had started a YouTube channel when I was getting into real estate. I think it was maybe 5 or 6 years ago. I was starting in real estate and I was documenting my experience through real estate school, but then I was also posting lifestyle stuff. I was posting travel stuff. I was all over the place, and I never ever saw growth on that channel. I think I maybe posted 6 videos or 10 videos, and then I just gave up because I was directionless. I had no clue what I wanted to talk about. All I knew was that I liked creating videos and I liked editing, but nothing ever came of that channel because I had zero direction. And I know that isn't exactly the answer that people want to hear, because even before I started my jewelry business, I didn't really have any hobbies. I didn't really have anything that I could talk about that I could go on and on for years and years and years about. So I know that that's hard. You can use that to your advantage. Obviously, there are people who do have a YouTube channel where they talk about a variety of topics, like a huge array. But if you want the fastest way to grow, find something that you're good at, something that you enjoy, that you like, that you're interested in. Because if you have that, you can make endless videos on it and have little sub branches out. Yeah, I'm a jewelry channel and I make jewelry, but I've got my studio vlogs where it's just more of taking you along my day. I can teach how to set stones or how to cast or how to wax carve. I can talk about business. I can talk about YouTube because YouTube is a part of my business. I can talk about Shopify, and I have sub branches off of my YouTube channel, but I do have in general a very small niche: small business, YouTube, and jewelry. So try and narrow in. I know that niching down is like a controversial type of thing, so I'm telling you to niche down, but also to have like branches so that you don't burn out or you don't bore your audience. But if you want to grow quickly, niching down is unfortunately the best way to go. But on that same note, you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot and be too narrow focused where in the future you can't branch out because you've been so specific. So I'm in that place right now where I'm still new and I'm trying not to make that mistake so that in the future I can't talk about other things, which is why I do want to talk about business, because it is something that interests me. And the whole YouTube thing, my life and my business isn't just jewelry, so I don't want my YouTube to be just jewelry as well, but I still want it to be relevant. So that one's kind of hard, I know, I'm sorry. So my next tip is editing with the times. I always try and keep in mind when I'm editing what time we're in. There was a time where YouTube intros were so popular, and it was very popular to see how elaborate you could get with your intro and the music and the B-roll, and people are not into that anymore, and you can lose people if you have these long intros. And on the same note, talking too much whenever you're starting your videos. I know one thing that people have said that they appreciate when I just roll right in, just get started. I try and have the mindset when I'm editing my videos that I do when I edit my reels for Instagram or for TikTok. So I try and follow the 3 to 5 second rule with my clips. So if I have B-roll of me carving a ring or setting a stone, I always try and change the frame every 3 to 5 seconds. Even if I'm doing the same thing, if I'm carving the same ring, I change the angle every 3 to 5 seconds, because people will get bored looking at the same thing for too long and they will click out of your video. So when you're editing, think of what's maybe a little too long and what you could chop down and make it choppy. So I do try and edit my videos like I edit my reels when it comes to B-roll and just behind the scene footage. One of the things that helps me with that is whenever I'm done editing my video, I'll pull it up big on my computer and watch it with my undivided attention. And if I ever find myself reaching for my phone to scroll or anything, I will stop and say, okay, why did I just lose my own attention on this video? What broke my focus? It's usually because I let a certain clip roll for too long. If you are losing focus and interest, then so are other people. So rewatch your videos, chop things down that aren't useful, and cut them out. My next tip, you guys have definitely heard, is to stay consistent. YouTube really likes whenever you post on a regular basis. It really helps if you treat this like a job and hold yourself accountable. If you're gonna get started, commit fully. I personally like to post every Friday, but I do not hold myself to that day, because if I miss on that Friday, I'm more likely to just not post until the following Friday. So my rule in my head is shoot for Friday. If you can't meet Friday, it's okay. Film over the weekend and post your video that Sunday or Monday. But no matter what, I always post once a week. I know that when you're getting started, a lot of people work full time and you do this on the side. And I get that that's really, really difficult. This takes up so much time and effort. Try not to hold yourself too strictly to a certain day, because like I said, you're more likely just to be like, all right, next week we'll try again. Make yourself do it once a week and you'll have better results. So the next one is the quality of your videos. This is kind of a given, because obviously in this day and age, the quality of YouTube videos has gotten movie production level good. So people's tolerance for a lack of quality is a lot lower. And that doesn't mean that you need to go buy a super expensive camera. Thankfully, I had a really good camera already because I do the photography for my jewelry, and so it can double as my YouTube camera. But your iPhone camera or your Samsung camera will do just fine if you're just getting started. However, I do recommend that you invest in your audio. Getting good audio equipment is a lot cheaper than buying an expensive camera. I personally use the wireless Me from Rode, and I knew this was going to be a necessary purchase because I live in Idaho where it's really cold and I run my fireplace all the time and it's so loud, and so I needed to have my voice audio separate from my fireplace, and so I did invest in a lavalier mic, and I'm so glad that I did. The quality of the audio is so much better. In that same quality topic of your videos, music is also really, really important. It's going to set the mood for your videos. If you have a lot of B-roll like I do in my videos, picking the right music can really keep people or send them away. I try to pick music that's really peaceful and happy and not too slow so people aren't getting bored. So to me, it was worth it to invest in Epidemic Sounds. I've been using Epidemic Sounds since I started. It's an online library of music that is copyright free so that you won't get a copyright strike. There's music, sound sound effects. It'll recommend music based on previous music that you've downloaded, and it's just really helpful and makes it really fast to add music to your videos. Good music is definitely worth investing in. Another thing that will help you grow is just being yourself. I know that it's so weird to like sit in front of a camera by yourself and talk to yourself, and it's really easy to just not know how to be yourself, especially when a lot of us who are starting YouTube are... I know that being a consumer of YouTube, you know all the typical things that people say. Don't feel the need to be like everyone else, because people will know. They can tell. And if it doesn't feel natural to you, just don't do it. There's so many people on this platform, and if you find yourself falling into the same thing that other people say, you're gonna have a hard time setting yourself apart. So just be yourself, because people can tell and they can feel it, and they know when you're being genuine. Truly, the only way to set yourself apart is just by being yourself. I think a few ways that you can make yourself different is by being more educational, or maybe you take a more cinematic approach, or maybe you have a more comedic approach. Whatever comes more naturally to you, just follow it. I honestly would not have grown as quickly as I did if I wouldn't have done what felt more natural to me. When I first started my YouTube channel, I just wanted to share behind the scenes. I wasn't planning on teaching. That wasn't my goal. I just wanted to get more exposure for my business. I thought people might, want to see how I make their pieces. And I do think a small portion of my audience is that, but the majority of it are other jewelers who want to learn or are teaching themselves. If I can find the clip, I'll insert it. But when I was filming my very first YouTube video, there was a moment where I was zoomed in on what I was making, and I started telling the camera what I was doing and how I was doing it. And I literally stopped myself and said, "Why are you teaching? Like, stop teaching. This isn't a teaching channel." Like, I said that to myself. And I'm so glad that I didn't stop myself from doing what felt naturally to me, because I never would have come this far this quickly. Not only is teaching now what people primarily watch me for, but it's allowed me to grow my Instagram in that way as well. I've just found that it's something that's definitely missing in my little pocket of the internet, is just transparent teaching of how to make jewelry. So I do try, and when I'm not teaching, or even in some of my teaching videos, I try and be a little more cinematic and thoughtful in my shots, and I color grade. And everyone needs to pull inspiration from somewhere, right? It's through watching other people create, watching other people in your niche. Everyone needs some place to pull inspiration from, but something that can set you apart is if you pull inspiration from people from other niches. I personally love to watch artists, painters, sculptors, like Grumpy Kid Studios. She does pottery. Brooke Cormier, she's an amazing artist. Her YouTube channel is fairly new. I think she started taking it seriously this year or last year. Her name's Brooke Cormier. She's a painter, but she's also a super talented filmer. Is that the right word? Filmer? Videographer? Producer? I don't know. She makes really, really good videos, thoughtful videos, beautiful color grading. She's funny. She includes her quirky personality in all of her videos. Definitely someone who's not afraid to be themselves and show it in their videos. And she also just happens to be a super badass painter. So I like pulling inspiration from her videos. There's another person. She sculpts little things out of polymer clay, and she does a lot of studio vlogs, and she's got very fluffy and warm content, and so I pull inspiration from that. I don't want my educational content to be dry and boring. I want it to be fun and whimsical, and you know. I think the easiest way to fall into the trap of being too much like other people is watching people in your niche and being too similar to them. So I would advise, when you're looking for inspiration, don't look for people in your niche. Another thing that I think helped me was using really good resources and tools online, like TubeBuddy. If you haven't seen TubeBuddy, it is a free online platform. There's a paid version, but I use the free one. It'll help you with your titles, with your thumbnails, with your tags. It'll generate tags for you based on your title. It'll tell you how strong your title is based on keywords that you use, how many keywords you used, your placement of your keywords. It's just a really nice free tool. So you just install it and you use it on your Chrome browser. It's just really helpful, honestly. I think on the paid version, it'll let you do a thumbnail test where you can put up 2 different thumbnails and see which one performs better. And I'm sure that information is invaluable, because thumbnails can be hard to figure out what really works. Did your video do well because of the content, or did it do well because of the thumbnail? thumbnail. Obviously, your thumbnail is your first impression, but whatever, getting off topic. I mentioned Epidemic Sounds, but that's also a really good resource for your music. So I mentioned thumbnails earlier. Thumbnails are obviously super important. I personally haven't found yet if a less busy thumbnail is better than one where you write all over it, because I have done both, but I don't think I have enough data to know exactly which ones work best. I do know though that the ones with my face in them tend to perform better. I think I have one video that I don't have my face in that has 20-something thousand views, but I also think that that one might have done really well because it's a super searchable thing. It was about casting. But just in general, it makes it more recognizable that it's your video if your face is in it than if it's a picture of your computer or your desk. My last piece of advice is to post on YouTube Shorts. I've actually seen a lot of bigger like YouTube tips channels talk about not using Shorts and how it can mess with your quality subscriber, but honestly, I think YouTube Shorts are really helpful for small creators to grow. And what's so bad about having another avenue for people to find you? YouTube will reward people who use all of the things that they have to offer, and you can get some really good views on YouTube Shorts. They don't pay as well as your videos do when it comes to being monetized, but I have some shorts where I've made $8, $10, $15, and I wouldn't like give them that money back. I just do think that it's a great way to convert, you know, short viewers into subscribers and to bring them over to your channel to watch your long form content, because even though Reels and Shorts and TikTok videos have become more popular lately, that doesn't mean that people don't want to watch long form content anymore. So just because they're on YouTube Shorts and they found you through there doesn't mean they're not watching your long videos either. And it's another avenue to make money. So absolutely use YouTube Shorts. And honestly, experiment wise, if you found me on YouTube Shorts, let me know in the comments because you're watching this video. So I don't know, it'll be a good test. But to answer the overall question, it is not too late to start a YouTube channel, whether you're starting it to just film more about your life, teach, share your business. It is not too late. People are always looking for new people to get to know, to support. I personally get so excited when I find a new person that I like online. I don't think it'll ever get old, and that's why this place isn't too saturated and it's not too late for you. It is something that's really hard to be successful at, but I think if you can find a specific thing for you to talk about and then make little branches from there, have good quality, be yourself, you can absolutely do it. If you have any more questions about YouTube, leave them in the comments. I would love to make more videos about YouTube. Like I said, I'm not a gatekeeper. I love to share. If you guys want to know about the financial side of YouTube and being monetized, what you can make at the 10,000, 11,000 subscriber mark, posting once a week, being a business, how's it affected my business? Have I made more sales? I would love to make those videos for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you got some good ideas from it. And I wish you guys all of the luck in the world. Do it. You won't be disappointed. You'll meet some of the coolest and nicest people through this platform. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye guys. Bye.